Emergency calls are made by those in need of help. They are a last resort, a desperate plea for someone, somewhere to answer. But what happens when that answer never comes? Sound, radio interference, a muffled voice saying,
"Oh, help me."
The lost backpacker and the voice on the radio. Emily Collins was an experienced backpacker, accustomed to navigating remote and isolated trails. In April 2019, she decided to take on one of the most challenging hikes in the state of Montana, known for its vast forests and treacherous mountains. Despite her skill set, Emily ventured into an area notorious for its difficulty, and no one could have imagined that she would never return. On the second day, she sent a message to her family, letting them know that everything was going well. But by the third day, when they couldn't make contact with her, a search was launched. 3 days later, rescuers heard a strange transmission, a muffled voice calling for help. But what was most perplexing was that, according to the records, Emily's voice seemed to be coming from a location miles away from where she had last been seen. That transmission became the only clue left behind. Emily was never found. One of the more disturbing theories that continues to circulate is that the voice on the transmission wasn't hers. Something, or someone, could have made the call. The haunting question remains, who was with her in the forest? Or worse, who or what was still out there? Chapter 2. The Mountaineer and the Shadow on the Mountain. Jacob Reynolds was a professional mountaineer, known for his extreme expeditions and his ability to scale even the most isolated peaks. In March 2020, he decided to climb a remote mountain in the Alps, aiming to document his ascent and add another achievement to his list. He was filming his climb when he noticed something peculiar, a shadow passing quickly in the background. At first he thought it was an optical illusion or the movement of the camera, but the feeling that something was watching him was real. He continued his climb, but his confidence began to falter. At the summit, he recorded a message for his followers. "Something's not right here. There's something else behind me. What is it?" Hours later, Jacob made an emergency call, his voice tense. "Something is wrong. Something's not right." Before he could explain further, the call was abruptly cut off. When the rescue team arrived at the location, Jacob had vanished. They found only his backpack, untouched, with no signs of struggle or movement. But the strangest part was the video he had recorded before his departure. A second voice, inaudible and whispering, seemed to have said something to him. What did Jacob know? And who, or what, was behind him? Chapter 3. Ethan Cross's Last Camp. Ethan Cross had always been a lover of nature. He spent most of his life camping alone in the most remote forests, documenting his journeys on video. In October 2021, Ethan decided to venture into an isolated forest in Oregon, where he planned to film a documentary about his experience. At first, everything seemed normal. Ethan set up his tent and filmed his daily camping routine. He was alone, but he enjoyed his own company, always finding pleasure in disconnecting from the modern world. However, the following night, something happened. Something he wasn't prepared to face. Before going to bed, Ethan made a final call to his mother. His voice was almost a whisper. "He's watching me, and he's not alone." The call's audio abruptly cut off. Rescuers arrived at the location, but they found no signs of struggle or any clues about what had happened. Ethan's tent was torn from the inside, and his cell phone was found buried 200 meters away. The mystery deepened when it was discovered that the footage on the phone contained an inaudible voice, whispering words they couldn't identify. And then, everything fell silent.